Hi everybody, welcome back on study room, and today we are going to study mineral based industries. Alright, so mineral based industries are industries that use minerals and metals as raw materials, and they are called mineral based industries. They are the source of employment for both rural and urban population, like from city and village people. Then the question is, can you name some industries that would fall in the category of mineral based industries? Of course you can. That is iron and steel industries. Alright. Then you have cement industries, fertilizer industries, chemical industries. So all are these mineral based industries. Then we have to study them in detail. What are iron and steel industry? The iron and steel industry is a basic industry since all other industries depend on it for their machinery. So you can understand that how important is this iron and steel industries. India ranks second among the world crude steel producers and is the largest producer of sponge iron. It's kind of soft iron. Alright, just look at this video. All right. Then we have to study how the steel is manufactured. Firstly, what happens is raw material is transported to the plant. Then iron ore is melted. Limestone is a fluxing material which is added. Slag is removed that was uh, unwanted product, and coke is burned to heat the ore. Alright, something has to be burned to heat it. Alright, then the molten materials poured into molds called pigs. Pigs is kind of storage, like the molds which are collected together, it is referred to as pigs. And the pig iron is further purified by melting and oxidizing the impurities. So what is the process accepted and accessed when you want to purify the pig iron? It is melting and oxidizing. Manganese, nickel, chromium are added. Rolling, pressing, casting and forging is done, and your steel formation is completed. Alright. Then the question is, why is Chota Nagpur Plateau the iron and steel center? So there are few factors that we have to keep in mind while building the iron and steel center. Firstly, the cost should be low and the high grade availability of high grade raw materials. Alright, cheap labor. You can easily find cheap labor in India. Vast growth potential. You can grow your business over there. Efficient transport network for the distribution. So we have railways, we have ships. Alright. So cargoes and all. So we have one of the largest railway network in India. Availability of power, electricity is must when you are manufacturing something. Alright. Because without power you cannot manufacture anything. Alright. Then when we compare India and China, why is China performing so much better than India? From the time immemorial, that is in 2014 also it has 8.822.7, 803.8, 808.4, 870.9, 870.9, that we call it 928.3, and India is only 106.5. So why there is a huge difference between the production of crude steel in India and China? Alright. So there are limitations in India's iron and steel industry, and that is why it is facing so much of loss. Firstly, the high cost and limited availability of coking coal. Then the lower productivity of labor. Then irregular supply of energy. And fourth is poor infrastructure. Then you come to aluminium smelting plants. So as the name suggests, it would be dealing with aluminium production. In the country, the location is Odisha, West Bengal, Kerala, Uttar Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Maharashtra, and Tamil Nadu. So these are the areas where aluminium production is done. And you can see in the picture, strip coasting mill at shelter of Nalco. So it is Aluminium Corporation. Alright, as the name suggests. Let's have a look at this video. Alright, yeah, got that. Was very nice. And then now we have to understand that how is manufacturing done in aluminium industries. The raw material is bauxite, we all know. It is found from bauxite quarry. It is transported through rail or ship, that we have already discussed how the transportation is done. Then forms your alumina. How bauxite is crushed and alumina dissolved out. It is done in aluminium refinery. Then what happens? Then there is a long procedure, that is bulk ore is shipped into the site of smelter, calcinated petroleum coke from a refinery, and pitch from colliery. Colliery is a storage kind of thing, like iron ore has iron in it, so colliery has this pitch. Then what happens in aluminium smelter? Cryolite as a molten metal acts as an electrolyte. What acts as an electrolyte here? Cryolite. Alright, it is a molten metal. And this is done in aluminium smelter area. And with the help of electricity, and thus your aluminium is formed in this way. Alright. Now the question is, a factory produces aluminium saucepans with plastic handles. It obtains aluminium from a smelter and a plastic component from another factory. All the manufactured saucepans are sent to our warehouses. Which raw material is likely to be most expensive to transport and why? The heaviest material would be expensive to transport. And here when we compare aluminium and plastic, what would be heavy? It is aluminium. Firstly, it is large and requires bulk carriers. So its transportation would be expensive. Now the other question is, which raw material is likely to be cheapest to transport and why? When aluminium is heavy, while plastic is light material. And thus, it is cheapest to transport. Alright, and we have already given the reasons for why, that is light material. Why are chemical industries widely spread? Chemical industry is its own largest consumer. So they are their own consumer. One chemical industries need other chemicals. Some other chemical industries would need that chemical. So in this way, this happens. Organic chemicals are petrochemicals. They are called as petrochemicals, and they are, for examples, they are petrochemicals. Inorganic chemicals could be sulfuric acid, nitric acid, alkalis soda. Alright, all the petrochemicals are organic chemicals. Sulfuric, nitric, alkali soda is an example of inorganic chemicals. Then you have fertilizer industries. So fertilizer industries is the demand is created when the land is fertile and is used for agriculture, and India has agriculture as its primary occupation, and therefore it is very in demand in the Indian country. Alright, so India is a third, and that is why it is the third largest producer of nitrogenous fertilizers, because the demand is very, very high in agricultural arena. Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, and Kerala contribute towards 50% of the fertilizer production, and they also consume more, and that is why they also produce more because there is a demand, and that is why this thing is produced so much. Then we have cement industries. So the very first fact that might come in your 1 marks question is first cement plant was set up in Chennai in the year 1904. The cement industries required bulky and heavy raw materials like limestone, silica, and gypsum. So when limestone plus silica plus gypsum, so they all are added, then your cement is created. Alright, now we have automobile industries. You can see the warehouses and the parts, how they are attached. So after liberalization, like after 1992, LPG policy is adopted, that is liberalization, privatization and globalization is adopted in the year 1992. So after 1992, what happened? The coming in of new and contemporary models stimulated the demand for vehicles in the market. And definitely our financial situation has also increased, and we are in a better financial position right now. So more and more people, when you have money, then only you buy luxury, and car is still considered luxury in most of the household. All right, so after we have attained a financial freedom, we go for vehicle production and vehicle consumption, and that is why the demand is high, and that is why the industries are set up in large numbers. All right, now we have information technology and electronics, and you know what is the hub here? Bangalore. Bangalore is the hub, and then your Noida, Gurgaon area. All right, because IT industries, even we are sending, we have so many international customer centers over in Bangalore. Why it is happening? Because electronic industry covers a wide range of products, and Bangalore has emerged electronic capital of India. It is so advanced right now that even I am sitting in different state, but still I am working for a Bangalore company. All right. So now we are heading towards industrial pollution and environmental degradation topic. So air pollution is caused when the first thing is when you talk about pollution. All right. So it would be air, water, land, and sound pollution, and would be different steps how to conserve environment. So when we talk about air pollution, definitely we have small suspended SPM, suspended particulate matters. All right. So what they cause, they are very very small in size, and when you breathe, you might get respiratory diseases when you take breathe in, or when you breathe in such air. So it is very polluting. The air is very polluting, and the worst is in the capital, Delhi. So here the situation are very worse. Air pollution is caused by the presence of a high proportion of undesirable gases, like the gases, the pollutants you don't want, but still they are absorbed in our air, and that is why we all are facing respiratory diseases so much. Sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide, that is CO, are the major gases. Then we have water pollution. Water pollution is caused by organic and inorganic industrial waste and effluents discharged into rivers. Alright, so how people are throwing like this kind of water bottles in the marine, in the sea, and all the fishes are in a documentary I've seen that when you cut the fish, you will see only plastic, 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 and she died of hunger because all the food, there was no food in the sea. There is only plastic thrown by humans. So we humans are so selfish, you can imagine that. So fly ash, phosphogypsum, iron, and steel slags are the major solid waste in India. And you can imagine the health of these environmental and these marine animals because of we humans. Let's see this. Alright. So when you do this such things, what happens is that there is people people the rural areas often drink such kind of water which you use which privileged people are using for bathing, washing, and washing utensils, and the rural people, the poor people, drink such of water and they suffer from diarrhea and all. So we should not be doing this with public sources of water. We should avoid using it as such. All right. Then we have thermal population also. This was the one factor that I did not mention. It is thermal population. Why? Thermal pollution of water. It is under the water pollution only. So when you play with the temperature of water, alright. So when hot water from factories and thermal plant is drained into rivers and pools before cooling. So in a cold water, you are putting hot water. So the animals over there and the flora and fauna would be punished. They would not be able to survive because it is different from their habitat, their natural habitat. And we are playing with someone's habitat, someone's home, and we should not be doing it. Then we have noise pollution. We are using different loudspeakers in temples, bhajan, kirtan, mosques for prayers and all. So it is causing this is causing great disturbance for the animals as well as humans because they will get defects in their ears by constantly hearing to such loud noises. So noise pollution not only results in irritation and anger, but it can also cause hearing disability, that is hearing impairment. All right, it would heart diseases. You can also get heart diseases by hearing loud noises, that is that increases heart rate, blood pressure, among other physiological effects. So you can see it is not only in the air that the noises is there, that would result in high blood pressure and low bed pressure, and it might be fatal for some people. All right, let's have a look at this video. All right. So how can we control environmental degradation is minimizing use of water for processing, harvesting of rainwater, that we have already done, that how to harvest rainwater. Like, so there are some storage near the house where you can save water and you can use it when needed. Treating hot water and effluents, treating chemical water also before discharging into rivers and all. Alright, this is how rainwater harvesting is done. So what other things you can do is a regulation of the use of groundwater reserves. Do not do not be selfish and use it for yourself. Do think for the future generations also. Reduction of particulate matter in the air. So do not use such thing that would suspend particulate matter in the air. Smoke reduction by use of oil or gas, and do not instead use like CNG vehicles instead of using oil for vehicles and all, petrol and all. So fitting of machinery like generators with silencers, and you can use silencers so that we do not have noise pollution. Then we can also redesign of machinery to increase energy efficiency and reduce noise. So some machines are blatantly producing noises for no use at all. So they should be redesigned in such a way that the noise is less but the work is done more efficiently. Alright. So now we have completed the chapter and we will be dealing with the exercises and the quick revision in the next video. And we have completed the entire chapter. We have done the different industries like mineral based industries, and we have also seen several other industries related to it. All right, we have done iron and steel industries, and we have studied about petrochemicals and inorganic chemical industries when we did that. All right, and we've also done environmental pollution and conservation of environment part. So we have covered each and every topic present in your textbook and important for your exam point of view. The only request is go through the video again so